This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
The award-winning Lee Pitts Live is brought to you by Hodges University. Build the future you at Hodges University.
Southwest Florida, thanks for joining us here again on the award-winning Lee Pitts Live. We're here at the Cape Coral Police Department. Would you believe it? Lee Pitts Live will pop up everywhere. Big shout out to Cape Coral Police Department for asking us out, and the accommodations again have been just spectacular. We have a fabulous show in store for you this morning. Get a chance to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about is Pennies for Community Progress. So we're gonna have some fabulous guests here in the studio. Get a chance to talk to Father Browning as well as Larry Aguilar. Again, that's Pennies for Community Progress right here on Lee Pitts Live. In the second part of our show, we'll go out to an evening of elegance that took place at Mount Olive AME Church. We got a chance to interview some of the honorees who were there as well. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. Keep it locked. Okay, John, we'll do. And Southwest Florida. What in the world is Lee Pitts Live up to now? What are those t-shirts all about? Enough. A movement to end poverty and violence within Lee County. Pennies for Community Progress, folks, is on tap on Lee Pitts Live. Now, Father Browning, Larry Aguilar, the experts on it. Let's bump y'all in. There's nowhere in Southwest Florida on television you're gonna get a sit-down talk show to talk about Pennies for Community Progress right here on Lee Pitts Live on Fox 4. Gentlemen, welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Lee.
Good to get both of you here. Let's just, in a nutshell, Father Browning, tell me, what is Pennies for Community Progress?
It's a movement to stop violence and to end poverty in Lee County. And I've lived here for 50 years, and we're moving on like we've never moved before.
What inspires you most about Pennies for Community Progress, the movement? What makes you want to be involved in it?
People seeing kids at Quality Life Center and seeing kids in the community that need to have some self-esteem and need to know that they're worth something.
Okay. When we get, Larry Aguilar, when we get kids and everybody into the movement and that they feel like they're worth something, what does that do for society?
Well, for one thing, Lee, what we have now is people that, because they don't have the right upbringing, they're struggling. They're struggling, and the easiest thing to do is to revert to those type of activities that, you know, right now it may be a solution, but down the line, you know that you've got nowhere to go. When you have self-esteem and you got people mentoring and people supporting you, you got nowhere else to go but up. And that's what we're talking about.
Now, throughout this interview, we got information on the screen where people can get in touch with you for more information for Pennies for Community Progress. So we're letting you guys know that. Tell us about the genesis of Pennies for Community Progress. How did it start?
You know, Lee, that's a really, really important question. If you remember back in September, that month was kind of crazy when we think about crime in our community. And most people always focus on one area in the community. It was happening all over Lee County. That's what I remember about September. And that's why we said enough, because it's not just our community, it's all of Lee County. And it was an effort by not just folks from the Quality Life Center, people like Father Browning, even police commissioner, our mayor. You know, we realized we got to do something about this, and we sat down and thought about how can we stop this violence? The easiest way for us to stem this violence is to kill it at the root, and that's through our children, poverty. Kids don't grow up wanting to be criminals or wanting to shoot somebody. You know, that happens as a result of not having the structure, the foundation that they need. Mm-hmm. And this is what Pennies for Community Progress hopes to do.
Father Browning, what is some of the feedback you've been getting from the community now that they are becoming more aware of Pennies for Community Progress? Do you think that we're getting a lot of the people involved in this movement?
Oh, absolutely. People are stopping to talk about. They used to worry about what's it called, pocketbook protection. They're saying we can't live in a community and be happy until we do something about these major issues that Pennies for Community Progress are talking about.
If Pennies for Community Progress realizes its full potential, 5 years from now, Father Browning, what are some things that would look different around here and act different and taste different about Lee County?
Well, number one, healthy babies.
Okay.
Number two, lessening of child abuse. Number three, keep kids in school. Number four, keep kids off the streets. And number five, lessen their interest about drugs and alcohol.
You want to add anything to that?
Absolutely. Mental illness. You know, Lee, right now, we on the way here, we passed by North Fort Myers, right? And we must have seen at least 5 or 6 different young people that are homeless. Now, you know those young individuals, after a certain amount of time of being out there and in dealing in the environment out there, they begin to, you know, they need medical attention. Who's giving them that? You know, and why are we not responsible for giving people what they need? You know, that's the same person that when they become hungry, when they become desperate, you and I become, you know, their prey. You know, and this is the thing that I don't understand why more people don't think about the end result of all of these ills that we're seeing in Lee County.
What is Children's Service Council, and why is the movement proposing a Children's Service Council here in, is it Lee County or Southwest Florida?
Lee County.
Speak to that.
And the reason why, Lee, there are 9 right now. About 39% of children in all of Florida live in districts that have Children's Services Council. So we know that it works. We know that it's out there doing its work. And we're wondering, why can't we have one in Lee County? When we know that what a Children's Services Council will do is to support those organizations that right now are fighting for the same dollars. One of the biggest reasons, I think Father Browning hit it right on. What about these moms? 4 out of 10 young ladies out there are head of households. 4 out of 10, 40%. That's astronomical. Who's helping them? And if we think that it's not our responsibility, I'm telling you, we're going to see the end result, you know, once these kids are older and they haven't had any influence, they haven't had any foundation, we're going to get to see the same results that we're seeing now with high crime.
Sesame Street this for me, though. Children's Service Council does what? It brings everything together. Is it a one-stop shop? Just
Absolutely.
Break that down.
Absolutely. So, for instance, the Children's Services Council that we're trying to bring to Lee County would bring about $29–30 million to this area. Now, right now there are many organizations that are trying to do the work, but they don't have the funding, and we're all fighting for the same dollars. With Children's Services Council, we will be supportive of those institutions, and it's not just Larry Aguilar making those decisions. We have governance, and through the accountability system that we have in place, people do not have to worry that their dollars are not being used the right way. We want to make sure, Lee, that we prop up early learning programs. We want to make sure that we have, why is there only one Quality Life Center in our area? Why aren't there more? How many do we have in Lehigh Acres? What do we have in North Fort Myers? And I don't care what you call them, but we need to have these programs that are out there so that young people, when they get out of school, what are they doing with their time?
Now, I've lived in more progressive cities in terms of population, you know, demographics and something like that. And it seems like Children's Service Council is pretty standard in big cities. Now, Fort Myers has grown now,
yes,
but we still don't have that type of entity here. Is that something we need to think about as well, Father Browning?
Well, it's something they've tried 2 other times to get it started, and for lack of information, ignorance, and pocketbook protection, we didn't happen. And this time, through all these efforts here, the education of the specific points, we had the director come down from St. Louis County come down here and told us and the leaders in the community what it has done for them. Mm-hmm. It's astronomical what it has done for them, and virtually pennies is all it costing for people to just make these changes.
After hearing that presentation from this representative, how did the community respond to that?
Oh, powerful, powerful. So much so the county commissioners are supporting the thing. They're saying, we tell us more, let's get it started. And unbelievable. I can't live 50 years I've lived here, and they're positive, they're for it.
Excellent. Now, when we say pennies for community progress, the first thing we think about, okay, they want to raise our taxes. Is pennies for community progress about raising taxes?
Well, in a sense, it's raising taxes, but it's 1 meal a year at a restaurant is all that they're talking about.
Okay.
1 meal a year.
And
Add to that,
I can add to that.
Yeah.
In essence, the money's already there. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, what are we doing with it? Are we utilizing the tax dollars that are now supposed to be funding human services? Are we utilizing that in the appropriate way? We don't want to get into a battle with the county commissioners as to how they're utilizing the funds. What we want to do is to offer them fact-based solutions as to how to better use the funds that are already there. We're not asking to increase taxes in any way. What we're saying is the money's already there. Here's another way to use that money that can better.
In terms of distributing the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, again, Sesame Street this for me. When I think about the United Way,
Yes.
am I to not get that? It seems to me that it distributes money to these different entities. What is the big difference in the United Way and Pennies in Children's Service Council?
There isn't much of a difference. I think in the way that we're funded, it's totally different. And not only that, I think that we can prop up the United Way even more so to do the work that they do. Pennies for Community Progress, right? Through the Children's Services Council can only prop up these programs that are already there. And some of them, the sad part about it, Lee, is that we're fighting for the same dollars.
Right.
Monies have not been allocated. I'll give you an example. We haven't had a needs assessment in this county for, I think it's 12 years or so. How's that
2005.
possible? We're growing. You just talked about how we're growing and how diverse we've become. That means that our county doesn't look the way that it used to. So in what ways have we changed? Do we know? Well, we need to find that out, and a needs assessment needs to do that so that we can show how these monies can be utilized in a better way.
Great. Now, when I'm seeing you two sitting here together, both community leaders, upstanding, well-respected in the whole nine, partnering, not putting one specific face on Pennies for Community Progress, wide diversity, that sends a message. What kind of message should it be sending, Father? What kind of message you want people to take from the diversity sitting right here?
People, to care for people who are in need. All my ministry, I've dealt with the difference between those who can't and those who won't. And those who can't, they're the ones that I'm saying, let's raise them up, because they want, as Veronica Shinmaker said many times, she said they want hand-ups, not handouts.
That's right. Now, Father, one of the things that has been a theme that has come out of this conversation is and I'm kind of wrapping this up now, but we are constantly saying children. But it's not just the children, it's the whole family, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Elaborate on that.
Exactly. If too many times it's a mother and a child. We want to help to bring the father into it, bring the family into it. In fact, one of the issues is when a mother comes home with a child, somebody will be there from the county saying, "All right, let's look at your bassinet. Let's look at the food you have for this child. What facilities do you have here, and how can we help you?" Rather than walking in there and just saying, "I'm
Lee, real
by
briefly, and another thing that happens oftentimes is we denigrate moms that can't go to school because they get menial jobs just to put food on the table, and then we kind of can't understand why that child doesn't get the care that it needs, but the mom is out there working. I know one lady is working 3 jobs as a housekeeper, so that she can, school her kids. So what future is in there for her? She's 23 years old. We need to do something about that. That only benefits our society.
Final question. What entities, I know you can't name them all, need to be a part of this machine to move it forward? Let me make some assumptions. City of Fort Myers government, Lee County government, police department, school system. Add some more to that.
We all need to work together, and I'll tell you why. It benefits all of us.
And Lee Pitts Live.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Lee, listen, the most important, the most significant thing we're doing right now is getting the word out to the community, and you do that well enough.
When people see me in this shirt, what should they ask me?
What is Pennies for Community Progress all about?
Okay? And what should I say?
Tell them it's our effort to eradicate poverty because that's man-made. We can do it.
All right.
Pennies now or dollars later.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having both of you on the show. We look forward to getting you back in the future. And Lee Pitts Live is going to be the headquarters for Pennies for Community Progress, meaning that we're going to continue to keep you informed on television throughout the year. Not every show. It would be every show if it was up to Larry Aguilar. Can't do it every show. We'll keep you posted throughout the year.
We couldn't ask for anything more.
Hey, let me bump y'all guys out, man.
Thank you, Lee.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Father Brownie and Larry Aguilar who are doing it. We'll be right back when we'll go out in the field to an evening of elegance with Mount Olivet Church. We'll be right back.